Wednesday night, Dynamite just happened. We're gonna talk some stuff with Dynamite. We're also gonna talk a bit what went on in with Britt Baker because that seems to be very interesting. What's going on there? And we're talking some more of that stuff. It's DA Wrestling. Andrew's here. We're talking all this stuff here. Let's get at her. On today's show, obviously, like I said in the intro there, we're gonna talk Britt Baker. We're gonna talk what happened on Dynamite and how I feel about some things lately that's been going on Dynamite because some of it is just wow. Anyway, guys, if you like the content here, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Make sure you follow us on Podbean. Make sure you follow us on Spotify. Make sure you follow us here and subscribe here on YouTube. We appreciate all that. In fact, got a little YouTube thing shoot up. It'll probably boom right here. Probably be like pink and yellow, but shining at you. Pop like so. Guys, if you like the content here, make sure you subscribe to all this stuff, please. Greatly appreciate it. We thank you for all the stuff there. Anyway, let's get this stuff here before we get into Dynamite about Britt Baker. Now, according to a lot of sources, Fightful Select, Wrestle Inc., Britt Baker is, for the most part, done with AEW. There has been reports out there that I've seen via the X app that Britt Baker apparently, obviously, is not being used. She's getting out of there, and she has apparently contacted WWE about possible spot in the WWE. Now, that's true. Not saying it is, not saying it's not. It's kind of funny, actually. That'd be funny, actually. I mean, we did see Britt years ago in the crowd during Adam Cole match back when they were still dating. So it's possible that she might go there. She's a very good talent. Although the question I have though with it, if she does go to WWE, is will she be able to continue her practice? Because obviously with AEW right now they have the flexibility. She just to do her practice because she is legitimately a dentist, right? And that she could do that as well, still wrestle. Obviously, WWE's schedule is a lot different from AEW's, right? But it's a good possibility there. And if that's the case, is it possible we're going to see Britt Baker at the Rumble? I mean, there's still a lot of people out there right now who obviously aren't happy at AEW. They don't want to be there, not being used. You can name a bunch off the head right now. Miro, Ricky Starks apparently has just been denied his release. Miro's been obviously denied, so he's just sitting at home doing absolutely nothing. So, I mean, it's possible that these people are done in MLB, sorry, in AEW. And it's possible, like, I'm not saying Miro's going to come back to WWE because I just don't see that one. But Britt Baker's a massive popularity. That would make an already made very good women's division, either on NXT or SmackDown or Raw. In fact, if you put Britt Baker in and bring her in onto Raw, well, there's your challenger for Rhea Ripley at Mania, if you really want to do that. Right? That opens up a whole bunch of new stories everywhere else. Whole bunch of things they could do. And Britt Baker's a very well accomplished wrestler. Right? I'm sure if they really wanted her, and it's true if possibly she does go there, I'm sure Adam Cole would put in a very good word for her. They have apparently, I stayed, remained friends, very good friends, very close friends. So it's possible it happens. I wouldn't mind seeing Britt Baker in WWE personally. I wouldn't mind at all. I think if Britt Baker shows up, it would probably bring her up higher in the rankings. In fact, she wasn't even on top women of 2024 because she was barely on there. I think she popped up right about here, somewhere around here, at some point. So take a look at that, like top women wrestlers. I mean, I'd love to see her go against Rhea Ripley. You have matches against Bianca Belair. You can do stuff with Asuka, Liv Morgan, right? Io Sky. Well, sorry, I said Asuka, but Asuka hasn't come back yet. But it's a good possibility she's come back to the Rumble. Oh, I wouldn't mind seeing Britt Baker in the WWE. I think it'd be interesting to see. It'd be a bigger platform for her to really showcase who she is. She was used a lot in AEW. I don't understand where this came from with AEW. Apparently, she's been very difficult to work with. Well, you'd be difficult to work with too if you want to be wrestling and you're not allowed to wrestle. Simple as that. You'd be completely apparently difficult to work with. Obviously, there is that stuff in the past with Thunder Rosa. who they just stay the hell away from each other. Obviously, Thunder Rosa is obviously back in AEW. So maybe Britt's the odd person out. Who knows? We'll look forward to following more of this, what goes on with Britt Baker. Is she going to be in WWE? Will she not be in WWE? Who knows? We'll find out. But anyway, let's get down to the Dynamite stuff. So Dynamite today opened up with Kenny Omega and Will Osprey had a nice, lovely conversation. Well, it wasn't really a conversation. It didn't last that long, right? Will wanted to come up here. He said that I can't be handling the Callis family on my own. He offered Kenny Omega to help him with it. Kenny basically declined the whole thing. He says, "Why would I remember? Do you remember the last time we wrestled each other? Right?" Osprey pretended he didn't know what was going on. Last time was Forbidden Door. Kenny mentioned it in Toronto. Right? Excellent heel work by Osprey. I highly recommend anybody who wants to watch a really good Osprey versus Omega match. Take a look at that one. That was extremely good. Anyway, he said, "No, I'm not going to do it. I wouldn't trust you. I don't trust you at all. Why would I do this?" And then Callis comes out. Actually, Kenny did say something really good. He said, "You're the number one guy here while I was gone. Now that I'm back, you're number two." That was fighting words. Osprey Omega 3 sometime down the road this year? Possibility. Maybe there. You never know. Anyway, maybe all out. Or all in. Anyway. Don Callis comes out. Before he even said a word, Kenny Omega jumped and ran at him. Started trying to hit him. He gets attacked by Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. Osprey says, "I'm not doing this." He thinks about it for a couple seconds, like, should I? Should I not? Should I? And he goes after Kyle Fletcher. Gets Kyle Fletcher in the ring. Right? So eventually, gets one up on Kyle Fletcher. After, Takeshita comes in, takes out Osprey. Omega comes in, goes after Takeshita. Eventually, right, they go to the outside. Right? Lance Archer and Brian Cage show up, start beating the hell out of Omega and Osprey. And I tell you, this Archer and Brian Cage tag team is very good. Like I've seen them wrestle a number of times. They're very dominant, two very big men, right? And it looks like finally, Brian Cage really finally got rid of that whole scrap the whole Wolverine gimmick crap, or whatever he was trying to do. I mean, I know he loves Wolverine. That's great. And it seems like he just kind of scrapped it all away. Anyway, eventually, this leads to a match. Not tonight. Not tonight at all. But Kenny and Will climb up onto this big scaffolding or pole, right? And says, "I have a great idea. At Grand Slam Australia, good on them. Kenny Omega suggested him and Osprey go against Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. Obviously, the Kyle Fletcher match makes sense. Kyle Fletcher is from Australia. And it's been signed. So now, at Grand Slam Australia, you're getting Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay tag teaming against Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. Two of the best in the world. A third one who is arguably in that top 10 wrestlers, and Kyle Fletcher, who is literally coming up slowly. You can't. Looks to be that Grand Slam Australia is gonna be a fantastic show for a lot of reasons. Look forward to it. Obviously, it's gonna be on different times. We tape it and so forth here, but I'll be watching on a tape thing. That's fine. Not a big deal. Look forward to seeing that one. We got tag team champions, folks. New ones. And boy, was it just a dismantling of Private Party. The Hurt Syndicate is your new tag team champions there. They beat the ever-loving crap out of Private Party. Right? At one point, Private Party tried to get the upper hand, got Sheldon Benjamin and Bobby Lashley out to the floor, tried to do a dive through the ropes. They got caught. Right? Benjamin throws the one guy, and the other person, Isaiah, gets put through a table by Bobby Lashley in a vicious way. Eventually, at least it was just a dominant win, right? These guys never recovered from that. Bobby Lashley spears Isaiah Cassidy, ends it down. 1, 2, 3. New tag team champions, the Hearst Syndicate. You know what? Good on Private Party for having a match, winning the tag team titles. They've done a hell of a good, they had a decent job with it. They held for a few months. Nothing wrong with that. Good on them. But now the real tag team champions are there. And to be not unbeknownst to everybody here, Bobby Lashley has never held a tag title anywhere. He's been a world champion, X Division champion, IC champion, US champion, ECW champion, TNA world champion. Never a tag champion. This is the first for him. Good for him. At 40 years old, the man still looks like a bloody wrecking ball. We can only dream of that, folks. Anyway, moving on. We got Mariah May having a little bit of a thing with Tony Storm, talking about how next week they have a face-to-face conference, face-to-face talk. Thinks Tony Storm's a whack job. Trying to figure out why they have it. Harley Cameron comes in, talks to Tony Storm, thinks she wants to be in Australia for it because they're both Australians. They start talking really thick Australian. It goes off. Harley Cameron actually makes a suggestion later on in the evening to have a match with Mercedes Monet. Starts singing a song. Her cleavage was really sticking out tonight, folks. Really was. Nice song about her boobs a little bit. How she's a little crazy. First thing Mercedes Monet said no to it. Hopefully it does happen. Said no, I'm not going to do the match because you haven't had a win at all. Why should I give you a match for a title? So obviously Mercedes Monet also is the belt collector now at this point, the female belt collector. She has the Rev Pro now, all that stuff. So we'll see what happens with Harley Cameron. Hopefully she gets a match with Mercedes Monet at Australia. It'd be great to see because obviously there she is back home in Australia. Then we get to a Jeff Jarrett promo. I'll be honest with you, I am not into this whole Jeff Jarrett thing in the slightest. Just not. It doesn't interest me. He cuts a promo MJF, you know, saying that probably should have lost his cool the way he did. Tells a story about Jerry Lawler since they're in Tennessee. And then he calls out Moxley. Saying he wants a title shot against Moxley. Well, his music hits. Instead of Moxley, he gets Claudio. Claudio takes him out. He's walking away. Jeff Jarrett gets on the mic. A new mic, by the way, because Claudio walked away to the other one. And says, basically saying, how about I face you next week? If I win, I get a title shot against Jon Moxley. Claudio looks at it, thinks about it for a second, goes, leaving you bloody? Claudio also said, too, that nobody gets to Jon Moxley until they go through him first. Folks, we're getting Jeff Jarrett versus Jon Moxley. I have that sink feeling in the cockles of my heart. I hope Jon just dismantles him. Jon kind of replied to it eventually saying, it's whatever. It's why? Why the hell we want to have Jeff Jarrett versus Jon Moxley? Seriously. Who does this? Look, I'm all for Jeff Jarrett back in the day. He was great. JAFFJARRETT. Stuff's drilled in my head now for years. And I just don't see Jeff Jarrett doing anything with this. If you have Jon Moxley lose the belt to Jeff Jarrett, I'm telling you right now, I said I think it was like a week ago, you better have Christian Cage cash it in, win that title, and then hold it for like 24 to 48 hours and lose to Jon Moxley the next night. I swear to God. Makes no sense to why you would do this. Not the slightest thing possible. I swear I'm not happy about this. We get a sweat match after that. We get a swerve match against AR Fox. We did this already before. Swerve won, beat the crap out of him. But it moved along the story, though. Ricochet comes out, right? Instead of Swerve going after Ricochet and losing his match to AR Fox, Nana goes after him. And then after Swerve wins, Ricochet cuts a promo saying, yeah, it's always, people don't want to tell him, hear me talk and all that stuff. But next week, you're going to hear me talk. Or there'll be consequences. Meanwhile, he's holding like a pair of scissors to Nana's throat. You can slowly see Ricochet going delving into madness here. Good. Let's see what happens with this. Before it's all about madness sometimes. Let's see what he does. Hopefully it happens. Then we moved on to an MJF match. Well, MJF promo. Where he says that Jeff Jarrett should be apologizing to him for stuff. Which, by the way, he interrupted a Hangman Page match against a Goober. Eventually, this over. Hangman comes out. He wasn't too impressed with MJF. MJF left because obviously Hangman's a nut bar. Then he beats the crap out of the Goober, which brings out Christopher Daniels. He because he was wearing a neck brace after the match they had a collision. As he was wrong for fighting Hangman Page, all those things as the most dangerous man in AEW. Yeah. I don't know what to say about that. I don't know what to say about it. I just don't know. Anyway, we got a Jamie Hayter versus Julia Hart match. I love Julia Hart. I like Jamie Hayter too. I don't really like. She reminds me right now though of a '70s girl from like Austin Powers. I don't know what she's trying to do. That's what she's trying to go for. But okay. So they really pumped up the fact it was a very good match between both girls, right? A lot of reversals back and forth there. Very went to one side one way. Hayter took control of another time. Eventually, Jamie Hayter ended up winning the match when Julia Hart got distracted by the crowd. That's when Jamie Hayter struck, got the pinfall. Jamie Hayter, after the match, cut a promo and says, basically telling Julia Hart that I don't care what the stuff you do, even though you tried to kill me with an arrow. But calls her a tough biatch. Okay. It says, if you want to go round three, because they both have one win apiece, let me know. And she walks off. Julia Hart seems very happy about this. After, though, before the main event, we actually got a quick promo from Brody Lee, Murphy, Buddy Murphy, and Julia Hart. Mostly it was Brody King talking. It was only the three of them, though. It doesn't look like they're really the House of Black anymore, but it might be kind of similar to what the House of Black is. There was a reason now. He did go out there and trademark Cerberus to use. So it looks like this is what it be. Cerberus, obviously Cerberus, Greek Hound of Hell, right? Three-headed dog. Enough said. Go look it up on the internet. Use the internet for something educational sometimes. It says, coming for people. And Malachi Black wasn't in it, folks. So Malachi looks like he is done with AEW. That's pretty much confirms the hell out of that. Now, nobody's heard anything from Malachi Black at all, so there's a good chance that he's staying quiet. And look for him at the Rumble. We might be right at this. He might actually be showing at the Rumble as Aleister Black. I hope so. Be great. So let's go now to the main event. The Radar Superstar Cope versus Pac. Before we get started on this, though, Mr. Copeland, Adam, fellow Canadian, other Canadian, sir, when you decide to change your name to Cope, question I have for you is, what the hell are you thinking? Can we just stick with Adam Copeland? Come with something else? Cope? Or just maybe Copeland? Cope. What is that? Like I cope? I'm coping right now? I don't get it. Sure, it rhymes with hope, dope, slope, pope. But still, there's no reason to possibly give me for this. And I know maybe I'm not supposed to understand. It's your prerogative. Great. But seriously, man, come talk to me. Come talk to your friend Andrew here at DA Wrestling here. Well, seriously, I'll find something I said. Well, I'll ask you myself, well, why Cope? Because I'm seriously really interested as to why. Anyway, Cope and Pac have a fantastic match back and forth. Really like showed off Pac. Really showed off Cope. Pac at times beat the living crap out of Adam Copeland, and Copeland did the exact same thing. Eventually, he puts Cope in the brutalizer, and he nearly wins until Cope ends up getting getting a pinfall. Can't remember what he did though. Wasn't that exciting? But what happened after the match though, it was a really good match. Actually, go see. It's probably one of the best matches on the card, other than the Hearst Syndicate beating the living crap out of the Private Party. Gosh, I've never really liked Private Party. So seeing Hearst Syndicate beat the living crap out of them was fantastic. Anyway, after the match was over, Cope comes. Cope is standing there. He's watching the screen, and it's Moxley and all them. In the back, they literally had FTR tied up and gagged on chairs. Keep in mind, these are the same guys who that had like, once shaved their back on TV from the Usos, tied up in chairs. And then with the Royal Express on the ground, I can't remember which one it is. I think it's the older one. Got his head slammed in with a chair by Claudio. Mark's response is, just stay right there. We'll see you in a second. And they all come out. They surround the ring. They start kicking the living crap out of Copeland. All of a sudden, Jay White comes out. His big hits. He comes. He takes out Claudio. Right? He takes out Wheeler Yuta briefly. Gets in the ring. He's about to Blade Runner Mox until Wheeler Yuta hits him right in the nays. Right? Drops him down. They beat the hell out of him. Moxley puts Copeland in a bulldog choke till he goes out cold. And they walk away. Leaving this destruction, a mess. Yeah. It was good. The end part was good. Right? The match part with Cope and Pac was fantastic. And if you ever get a chance to see Pac, I got a chance to see Pac live in Toronto. He lost the belt to Orange Cassidy at Dynamite one time when I was there. Awesome man. Awesome match. Highly recommend go watch stuff from Pac. Very good. Even the stuff when he was Neville was good. Still like the character. Pac's way better. But when he did Neville, King of the Cruiserweights, now that was better. They had something there. And the old man screwed it up. But anyway, Anyway, Dynamite there, well, all was a pretty good show. Wasn't bad. Got new tag team champions. We got some more stuff there. Hopefully, Harley Cameron gets on the card in Australia. We're getting Will Osprey and Kenny Omega tag team together against Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher in Australia for Grand Slam. Right? Moxley at that point there will probably end up challenging Jeff Jarrett. Well, Jeff Jarrett will probably end up challenging John Moxley for the title. Hopefully, he gets the crap kicked out of him there. Or MGF will have something to do with it. Oh no, folks, it was a good show. It wasn't bad. It was a good waste of 2 hours. It was good times. Wasn't bad. I definitely take the high point though. Go see this Herson get beat the crap out of, Private Party. Go watch Bobby Lashley put a poor boy through a table hard. It's highly recommended. Anyway, guys, coming up soon. We'll go to a little WWE for a quick second here. I just started watching, dude. You guys want to take a look at it? Go watch NXT Rivals. The Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn match, where Kevin Owens beat powerbombed the living hell out of Sami Zayn just to get the title. Never really pinned me, just called it. Really good. I watched it last night. It was fantastic. I'd do a review on that. It was really good. You had Finn Balor versus Neville, or Adrian Neville, or whatever the hell his name was. It was good. That was a fun time. You guys also had the crowning Sasha Banks as the NXT champion. over Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and Bailey. Look where all they are now. Holy crap, Abe. There's another group that actually did really well. Anyway, folks, I'm Andrew. This is DA Wrestling. Make sure you follow us there on Twitters, right? On AMP 1982, DA Wrestling or DA Sports Pod on X, D Lines 1991 on X if he's even there. TikTok at DA Sports. Also here on the YouTube channel, Spotify, Podbean, all those other places there. Guys, have yourself a wonderful night. This is DA Wrestling signing out for the Dynamite recap. In a nutshell.